Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's YouTube channel is going to be about clinicals and my experience now being in the field. This video has been taking me forever to post, and unfortunately I will be giving you some updates that are not good news, but I want to go ahead and be as transparent as I can be with my subscribers, just because I feel like everyone is so good at sharing their successes but not talking about like their actual failures and their struggles, you know. So for those who are new, hi, my name is Marian. I am officially a sonographer out in the field. I'm no longer a student. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So I've been getting a lot of questions about what would I recommend, whether you should go to a facility or you should go to a hospital. I personally would recommend for you to go into a hospital setting, just because I feel that you will be more well-rounded in the hospital setting, because like for me at Holy Cross, the vascular department is not separated from generals. I got to see generals, OBGYN, vascular. I even got to scan some babies. I got to do cranial for babies, newborns, adults. I was able to go into the OR where we did a procedure. I can't get too much into details, but I got to literally get my hands into pretty much everything I can. I also got exposed to so much new techniques that the school didn't teach us. Unfortunately, I learned it there. Very, very amazing to just kind of see that and then go now into the field and kind of share what I've learned. Of course, I am new and there is area of opportunity. There's always area for opportunity and growth. But at a hospital setting, I feel like you get more exposure, and that is the reason why I went into a hospital setting. Also, for those who know, my brother was there as an employee, so that helped me a lot to get my hands into using a probe faster and sooner than other students. But ultimately, my advice is expose yourself, get out of your comfort zone. Always communicate to your techs that you want to learn, and if you're a hands-on, which is in this field, I feel like it's a lot of hands-on, just talk to them that you want to go ahead and scan, even if you don't know what you're scanning, so you get used to like the protocol, what you're looking at. So there's that. That's my piece of advice, especially because a lot of students that I know got put into certain facilities where they only got to see general, maybe some vascular, some even didn't get to see that. And then it was harder to move into a different facility where they will get more exposure into different kinds of specialties. So my piece of advice, go into a hospital setting, make sure that the departments are not separated, because most hospitals are separating their vascular department. But at least if you're separated in the same hospital, they could move you into different departments after your 3 months mark. It's been 2 months, give or take, I've been out of clinicals, and I am so relieved. It's definitely not as hard as I thought it was going to be. Of course, doesn't mean that I'm not struggling at work to get the perfect image, or you know, like do my reports, especially because where I work at, they are currently doing worksheets, which they're not fun. I'm used to just typing my report onto the machine. So there is that. For attire, I've been getting a lot of questions. My advice to you would be that try to stay with dark colors like gray, navy blue, black, just because at Holy Cross I was able to wear any color as long as it wasn't too bright. I pretty much got every color you could even think of in the brand of Figs and Janu. And now I am stuck with them because at my facility they do not let me wear any color besides those 3 that I just mentioned. Also, make sure to make your feet as comfortable as you can, especially if you're standing for long hours or you're gonna go to your clinical site and then go to work, which I did, and my feet were constantly killing me. So my word of advice is invest in some compression socks, invest in some good shoes. I got Crocs. I know certain hospitals or facilities won't let you wear them, the ones with the pins, but you could get your hands into the sneaker ones, which is what I decided to get as well. And let me go ahead and show you that really quick. So these are the sneakers. It's still Crocs. They're so comfortable. I know a lot of people don't like that it doesn't have that hard support in the bottom piece, but for me it actually works. I can't wear the hard piece in the bottom because it just hurts really bad my feet. And they're easy to clean. I know they're a little dirty right now, but they're so easy to clean, especially with COVID going on. I just love them. Most comfortable shoes. I could last like 18 hours on them, and must believe I have done it before. Highly recommended. I got my compression socks on Amazon. I think they were like 3 for $10 or $20. Best investment I've done. I bought already like 3 packages. I invested on those Croc sneakers from Amazon as well. I'll go ahead and put the link below so you guys could go ahead and check that out. I also got questions about what should I know before I go into my clinical site. So I would highly recommend that before you end up at clinicals, you know your anatomy. That's like, you need to know it, period. Your anatomy, and you should be able to draw it as well, because some techs will ask you to draw the anatomy, so make sure you could draw it. Know your measurements in like the whole entire organ, so liver, kidney, main portal vein, CBD, spleen. Make sure you know your measurements. Make sure you also know the flow of the veins and arteries, because they will ask you. And if they know that you know, they could spend more time teaching you different techniques of how to scan, teach you more about pathology, which I feel like when you go into clinicals, that's mainly what we should focus on, catching pathology, because our eyes are just used to getting a perfect, or at least you're going in thinking, I must get a perfect image. I know exactly what is the organ supposed to look like. I feel like that should not be the case. Going into your clinicals, pathology, catching pathology should be like your main priority going into clinicals, because knowing your organs, your measurements, your flow of the veins and arteries should already be in your mind. I am not gonna say I knew my measurements, because I didn't. I knew some of the measurements that stick with me. I didn't know all of them. So please know your measurements. Also, I think like this is like literally what's gonna make you learn faster and be a benefit for you going into your clinical site. Knowing what the machine does with its buttons. You must know that. That's like, I want to say 40, if not 50% of your ticket to kind of learn faster. Just because I feel like I spent so much time trying to learn what each button did, which is something I should have learned at school. Especially because we did have the same machine that they had there, which was the LG S8, and that is actually the one I'm using now in the field. And it has made made it easier for me to learn now that I'm actually working in the field. So I highly recommend for you guys who are actually doing more labs than I did when I was in school to literally play with every button. Know which one does depth, which one does color change, frequency, harmonics. Just because now also like I've been also watching interviewers come in and basically show what they could do, and a lot of them don't know the machine, so it kind of discredits a little bit of how good they are at scanning. So you must know what the buttons do, or at least have the basics down, like depth, gain, color, harmonics, frequency, and how to type, labeling your images. So that is what I think you guys should know going into your clinicals. Let's see, advice in clinicals. So I know some of my classmates did have trouble in their sites. Piece of advice is, clinicals to learn. You're not there to make friends. So keep your personal life to yourself. Do not comment or add your personal opinion on other people's work. Just learn from everyone. Don't mention that they do this different, because I've noticed that they kind of get upset and they think you're like saying something bad when you're not. You're just basically saying what you've learned from this tech. Just keep it to yourself. Just ask them, how is it that you want me to label it? Do you prefer this specific landmarks, or where is it that you need me to stop? Just because everyone works different, you'll watch everyone and just learn what you think it's best for yourself. So that's my piece of advice on that. Also, I know when I was on doing clinicals, I felt so intimidated by the techs there. They were so smart. Some of them did have a little stronger attitude, and that's something you just have to learn to work with. But overall, do go with every tech. Must believe you will learn so much from every tech, different techniques. So don't stay to one just because they're nicer to you or because they let you use the probe more. Just watch them and just be like, oh, like, why did you do this? Or, communicate to them. Some of them, because you take long in the beginning, they won't let you scan much, but at least you get your hands on the probe. And I highly suggest for you guys to do it as soon as you can. I know some techs let you wait like 3 months or 2 months. I just feel that that's too much time for you to wait on. And on the protocol, forget about the protocol. Everyone has it different. Most of the time they have scan assistance, which is the protocol already in the machine. So you just have to read what it says and look for that specific organ that they're looking for on the labeling. I feel like a lot of the times I was kind of like zoning out, and I wasn't reading what the label said on the scan assistant. So I was like, so don't do that. Read the labels if they have the scan assistants already in there. At my facility, they have a scan assistant, but they don't use it. They put the protocol themselves. It is almost very similar to the same protocol we did at Holy Cross. So thank God for that. Do not feel like you can't cry, because I literally cried every day that I went home. I felt like I wasn't learning as fast as I should have, or I wasn't as good as I should have been in my specific month that I was on. However, if you were stuck in COVID, you kind of should relax, because we didn't get the same exposure experience as most students did before COVID. We were limited on lab because of COVID. We were limited on patients we could even scan because of COVID. So it was really hard to scan a lot of patients in the beginning because of COVID. And remember, we're all gonna suck in the beginning. It's just part of our journey. It's just learning from those mistakes and trying to limit how often you do them, or trying to find a way to improve those mistakes. To my updates, I've taken abdomen. Oh, well, as you all know, I failed the SPI. I was not prepared. I thought I could wing it, but that didn't work out. So I failed it. I retook it again. I believe when I was like a month or 2 months into clinicals, I passed it, thank God. But I did take abdomen during clinicals. I believe I was like already on my 4th or 5th month. I did fail that as well. I must believe it was the most saddest moment of my life. But I knew that I was not prepared for it again, just because like I sat down for the exam and I was like, is this the right exam? I had to literally come out and ask the patient, the guy who was out there watching us, like, I think I'm taking the wrong exam, because it was that hard. But if you study enough, it should not be that way. Also, I did take RBT a couple days ago and I failed it. Sadly, I was just right there. Same as abdomen, I just need to fill in the holes that I'm missing. But I am currently working without a license. I do have my SPI, but certain facilities do hire students or graduates now without the SPI. So don't feel like you won't find a job, because you will. It's just applying, and also keep in mind that I'm not getting the best pay. I think it's like not good pay at all, especially for the education I went through. But I have to continue scanning, because this is the kind of career I'm in. Like, it's constantly scanning to improve my scanning. So for now, I am taking whatever comes at me as it is, and I'm using that time to learn. Also, I am currently restudying for my abdomen, which I'll be taking soon, and I hope to pass, because if not, I'm going to like die. Because I do want to end up in a hospital setting. I do not want to stay at a facility. I like the flexibility of the hospital hours. And I'm used to already like hospital hours, as you know, like I work crazy hours, and I came into this career to make money, so I'm trying to work. So there is that. So for my next video, I'll be talking about my COVID vaccine. As for those who follow me know that I said I wasn't gonna get it, but I got cornered into getting it. So I unfortunately got it, and then it was a disaster. So I'll go ahead and share my experience through the COVID vaccine, which will be my next video. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the bell to get notifications every time I go ahead and upload a new video. Thank you. Bye.